There are people who don't hate people. They just can't seem to stand the noise of a crowd. The chatter, the laughter, the constant need to perform. You'll find them making excuses before a party, hesitating before replying yes to a friend's invitation, staring at the mirror wondering why something as simple as being around others feels like an emotional marathon. They aren't cold or arrogant or antisocial. They just feel life differently. The psychology behind people who avoid social events isn't about shyness or disinterest. It's about protection. It's about the quiet battle between connection and comfort, between wanting to belong and needing to breathe. You see, for some people, social events don't recharge them. They drain them. Every conversation feels like another tab open in their brain. Every smile, another layer of performance. It's not that they don't care. It's that they care too much. They pick up on tone shifts, micro expressions, energy changes. They notice when someone fakes a laugh or hides discomfort. Their minds are wired for deep perception. And that kind of awareness comes with a cost: overstimulation. Social anxiety isn't always fear. Sometimes it's emotional exhaustion disguised as withdrawal. Psychologists have long talked about introversion, but what we often miss is that introversion isn't the absence of social desire. It's the craving for meaningful exchange. People who avoid social gatherings aren't avoiding people. They're avoiding the superficiality that often comes with large groups. Their nervous systems thrive on sincerity. When they say, "I'd rather stay in," it's not laziness, it's emotional preservation. They need quiet not because they dislike others, but because quiet is where they return to themselves. There's also something deeply psychological about why social events can feel suffocating. Every group setting subconsciously triggers a primitive mechanism in our brain: the need for social safety. Humans evolved to survive in tribes, and being excluded once meant literal death. So even today, when you walk into a room full of people, your body still scans for acceptance. Do I fit in here? Am I being judged? For those more attuned to emotional nuance, this scanning process never stops. The mind keeps analysing, comparing, assessing. No wonder it feels easier to stay home. But here's the paradox. Many of these same people who avoid social gatherings often crave deep connection the most. They want to be understood, but not crowded. They want intimacy without exposure. They want to talk, but only when words mean something. They want to laugh, but not in the echo of small talk. This is the quiet pain of the socially avoidant. The tension between isolation and authenticity. Because it's not loneliness they fear, it's disconnection in the crowd. If you ever decline an invitation and then talk guilty about it later, you catch this paradox. You scroll through the pictures of the event. People smiling, lights glowing, a small party with this, maybe I should have done. But the truth is, deep down, you know it really felt right. Not because you didn't belong, but because you were being mind-body. What is that? You're being captured by me, so you can use your attitude. You may smile, say yes, that's not boring, that's not better. It's just a funny relationship together. Find the funny people who laugh after all. Find the people who laugh after all. This is the just a story. Fight, time, information, not the people who matters. Find the mind, find the room. Small opportunities to stretch without snapping. One of the most misunderstood traits of people who avoid social settings is that they often possess high self-awareness.
They notice the micro shifts in their body, the tightening chest before entering a room. isn't about people. It's about the body remembering moments it didn't feel safe. And yet, the irony is this. Many people who avoid social events are some of the most emotionally generous individuals you'll ever meet. They love deeply. They remember details. They check in quietly. They show care in ways that go unnoticed. They just struggle with the stage of life, the part that demands performance. For them, love isn't loud. It's the small text at midnight, the thoughtful gesture, the way they listen without interrupting. Their connection isn't made in the crowd. It's made in the quiet moments no one else sees. There's also an evolutionary psychology angle to this. Not everyone is designed to be the center of the tribe. In ancient social groups, balance was key. Some hunted, some gathered, some guarded. The ones who preferred observation often detected threats, sensed emotional tensions, noticed patterns others missed. Their quiet was survival. Today, that same sensitivity translates differently. It might mean picking up on tone shifts in conversation, or reading the mood of a room too quickly. When every detail hits at once, the mind retreats to silence as a defense mechanism. The modern world doesn't make that easy. It glorifies visibility. If you're not networking, posting, or performing, it feels like you're falling behind. But the truth is, social avoidance isn't laziness. It's rebellion against overstimulation. It's the body's way of saying, I refuse to dilute my peace just to be seen. Still, peace and growth must coexist, because too much peace becomes numbness, and too much solitude becomes self-erasure. The goal isn't to fight the need for quiet, it's to find connection that doesn't break it. In therapy, there's a concept called graded exposure. It means taking small, manageable steps toward what feels uncomfortable, not to eliminate sensitivity, but to expand tolerance. For someone who avoids social gatherings, that might mean attending for 15 minutes, then leaving guilt-free. It might mean calling a friend instead of meeting in person. The point isn't to force change, it's to prove to the nervous system that connection doesn't always mean danger. Slowly, the body learns a new story. I can handle this. But let's go deeper. Why does it feel so emotionally heavy to simply exist around others sometimes? Because social settings mirror us back. Every interaction reveals something about who we think we are. When someone laughs and we don't know why, we feel separate. When others bond over shared energy, we feel out of rhythm. That dissonance reminds us of our inner distance, the gap between the self we show and the self we are. The more authentic a person is, the wider that gap can feel in environments built on surface connection. So the avoidance, in many ways, is a refusal to fragment. It's saying, I won't split myself just to belong. That's not dysfunction, that's integrity. But integrity can be lonely, because the world often mistakes stillness for absence. The people who avoid social events aren't always missing. They're just elsewhere, rebuilding their emotional energy, thinking deeply about things no one asked them to think about. They're replaying conversations, analyzing meaning, wondering if they were understood or if they overstepped. They live in the aftertaste of interaction. Long after the event is over, their minds are still there, sorting, processing, reflecting. That's the cost of awareness. Yet in that same depth lies beauty. Because when they do connect, it's profound. Their conversations feel like shelter. Their attention feels sacred. You don't need to fight for their interest. When they're with you, they're truly with you. They give what most social butterflies can't, undivided presence. They don't flit from person to person. They root into meaning. They're not chasing validation. They're searching for resonance. For many of them, healing begins with reframing solitude, not as escape, but as a tool.
You can love quiet and still crave connection. You can enjoy isolation without disappearing. Balance isn't found in constant exposure. It's found in knowing when to step forward and when to step back. When you start to see your own patterns without judgment, avoidance becomes awareness. You begin to make choices, not out of fear, but out of alignment. The world doesn't need everyone to be loud. It needs listeners. It needs the people who feel the temperature of a room before anyone speaks. It needs the ones who say less but mean more. Social avoidance, when understood, can evolve into social wisdom. The ability to engage deeply, not frequently, because depth, not noise, is what creates real human connection. And maybe that's the hidden truth behind this entire psychology. The people who avoid social events aren't rejecting the world. They're longing for a version of it that feels real. A world where they don't have to filter themselves into bite-sized pieces just to fit in. A world where silence isn't awkward, where eye contact replaces small talk, where emotion is allowed to breathe. Until they find that world, they build it in their solitude. And sometimes that's the most honest kind of living there is. Because one day, when they do walk into a room again, they'll do it differently. They'll no longer be trying to blend in. They'll simply arrive, quiet, grounded, whole, and the people who notice them will feel it. That presence that doesn't need attention, that calm that doesn't seek approval. That's the power of those who once avoided. They return with depth. And maybe that's the lesson for all of us. Connection doesn't begin in the crowd. It begins in solitude, in learning yourself deeply enough to show up as someone real. When you understand your own silence, you finally have something worth saying. When you honor your own space, you finally have room to let others in. The people who avoid social events aren't broken. They're building the kind of peace that makes real connection possible. And when they finally do connect, it's not performance, it's truth.